All right, welcome race fans. You're at the Keeneland Broadcast Center, award-winning broadcast center. This is above the press box, just past the finish line, where we have our control room where we produce a 17-camera HD production. And we redid this control room back in 2008. We started with our HD investment in 2006 with cameras and have grown from there. So we want to show you behind the scenes a little bit. And the first section you're going to see here is kind of the back guts of the thing with it's just race replays, a routing system, and what we call our simulcast area. So you can see any number of racetracks that we may be carrying today, and our engineering staff will monitor the various channels that will be out throughout the grounds that people can wager on other tracks besides Keeneland. Dan Klein over here is responsible for some race replays throughout the day. Throughout the card, he'll build those race replays and display those throughout the on a couple locations in the grounds. And then Isaac here is also on a replay system. This is a 6-channel system, K2 Central, that he's listening to Philip, which you'll see in a second, is our director, and is recording all the various angles and replays those upon the completion of a race. And then once a race is completely over and the live replays, he'll go back and archive those races for the website and for various other entities that may want to carry Keeneland racing. And he's on a system called the Dyno system, and he builds that specialty replay with the music at the end of the day as well. So Isaac's very important position here. As we move on around, this is a camera control units over here. If you come all the way to the end, Steve Eilerman's got control of the color, all the various levels of any and all of our cameras around the grounds. And then Casey and Terry here are working what we call remote control cameras, pan, tilt, zoom. So the cameras that are in the paddock, there's 3 in the paddock and then 1 in the winner's circle. And they're just waiting, they're following the horses that Mike and Katie will select as their selections for this race 2 that we're getting ready to do. So Mike's getting ready to go on camera, and then they're on headsets following along with what those selections will be. There's also 2 additional cameras in the paddock that in the saddling enclosure right now that is covering Katie, and also a wireless camera that will once it leaves the paddock and its selection of horses will go to the live starting gate shot. So everybody has multiple positions that are on the staff. As example, Terry here runs pan 1. Once the horses have left the paddock and are headed to trackside, Terry will go over and run the pan 1 camera, which is the tight shot for the race. As we move on around to the main body of the control room, on the far end, Dorothy is running the Trackus setup. And Trackus is our technology that puts in a chip, an RF chip, in every saddle tow, and receivers around the circumference of the racetrack follow along and give you those updates. And there you can see the order of finish and the feet traveled and the beaten lengths and their final times. Morgan is on our graphics system. It's a Chiron, so she is getting this graphic system is taking in all of the United tote data and also our timing data from American Teletimer, and creating graphics that is what we call the L look, which is posting the numbers, their odds, various payouts, time of day, track conditions, changes, and all the graphics that you see on our production are all being done right here. And Morgan is also on headsets listening to Philip and creating those as we go. Thomas is on our all-digital sound system throughout the plant. He has complete control of the sound system, so he's monitoring Mike and Katie right now, as well as other sources such as the track announcer, the starting gate has a microphone on it, and of course our track bugler. So he's got various sources that are coming in, as well as TVG. On a weekday, we're also working on and controlling TVG's signal, and that sound is coming through our sound system as well. He's also monitoring the volume in all of the dining rooms and the grandstand, so any and all changes can all be made with this very nice digital audio system that David Humphreys put in for us. As we move on around the hill, you'll see that Philip's position is that Philip is the technical director director and one of our producers, and produces a lot of commercials for us. But throughout the course of the day, Philip is really in charge of making a call. He's talking to all the camera positions in the various towers around the racetrack, the graphics, like we said, camera operators, the replay, and is making the call throughout the course of the day. What we have next right here is Ollie's position, and Ollie is working with TVG, and so he's on headsets with Los Angeles right now. As you can see, their TVG set on the camera on set 1. On a weekday, we are in charge of TVG's signal, and very important position here. He's on with a director from California and calling the shots, and then they'll be back on the weekend in their production truck, which is typical on a traditional weekend. He's also running what we call our EVS, which is our super slow-mo camera. He's running the recording of that, and has his role during the running of the race and monitoring what is being recorded there. So that's pretty much a brief look at our control room, and again, multiple awards for the simulcast signal here at Keeneland, feeding 1,200 plus outlets around the country and around the world. So international signal, and you can catch that on Roberts Communications RTN. You can catch it on TVG, and also connected on KeenelandSelect.com and Keeneland.com. So many ways to watch the Keeneland signal.